There are names in football that echo through time. And then, there's one name that became more than just a player. It became a symbol, a brand, a phenomenon, CR7. But before the world saw the logo, the legend, and the global icon, there was just a boy named Cristiano Ronaldo dos Santos Aveiro, from a small island in Portugal, chasing a dream far bigger than the streets he grew up on. Cristiano was born on February 5, 1985, in Funchal, Madeira. His father, José Diniz Aveiro, worked as a kit man at a local club, and his mother, Maria Dolores, was a cook. Their life was simple, their home modest, and their dreams humble. But inside that tiny boy was something that could not be contained, an obsession with football so fierce that even hunger, rejection, and tears couldn't extinguish it. He used to play on the streets, barefoot, using anything as a ball. He cried when he lost, not because of pride, but because every game meant everything. Even as a child, Ronaldo played like his life depended on it because, in a way, it did. Football wasn't just fun for him. It was his escape, his destiny. At just 12 years old, he left Madeira for Lisbon to join Sporting CP. Imagine being that young, leaving behind your island, your family, and your entire world to chase a dream that everyone said was impossible. He cried every night at the dormitory, missing home. But he never stopped. He trained harder than everyone else. While others slept, he practiced. When they laughed, he ran. There was something about Cristiano, an intensity, a hunger, a burning desire to become the best. Coaches saw it, teammates felt it. He wasn't the biggest or the strongest, but he was relentless. And soon, the boy from Madeira began to rise. In 2003, at just 18, Cristiano Ronaldo faced Manchester United in a friendly match. That night, his lightning pace, dazzling footwork, and fearless dribbling stunned the English giants. After the match, United's players begged Sir Alex Ferguson to sign him. Ferguson didn't hesitate. Days later, Cristiano became a Red Devil. And this was where the transformation began. When Ronaldo arrived in Manchester, he was just a skinny teenager with fancy tricks. But under Ferguson, he learned discipline. He learned that talent alone isn't enough, that greatness demands sacrifice, humility, and obsession. But there was one moment that changed everything. When Cristiano joined, he was offered the number 28 shirt, the same number he wore at Sporting. But Ferguson had a different idea. He handed him the number 7 shirt, the same number once worn by legends George Best, Eric Cantona, David Beckham. It wasn't just a number, it was a legacy. Cristiano hesitated. He didn't think he was ready for the weight of that shirt. But Ferguson looked him in the eye and said, "I believe in you." And that belief lit a fire inside him. That was the birth of CR7. The number wasn't just digits on his back, it became his identity, his motivation, his alter ego. Every goal, every sprint, every training session became a statement. I will live up to this number. I will make it mine. He began transforming himself. He built his body like a machine, lean, fast, powerful. He trained relentlessly, always looking for an edge. He analyzed his own movements, perfected his free kicks, and refined his skills until every touch was sharp, every shot lethal. From the kid who once cried in Madeira, he became the star who made defenders tremble. His first few seasons were filled with flair and speed, but soon his numbers exploded. In 2008, he won his first Ballon d'Or. Manchester United conquered England and Europe. Ronaldo was no longer just a footballer, he was the future of the sport. But legends don't stop when they reach the top. They chase new mountains. In 2009, he made a move that changed football forever, joining Real Madrid for a world record fee. The spotlight grew brighter, the expectations heavier. And yet, Cristiano thrived. Wearing that white shirt, CR7 became unstoppable. At Madrid, he turned himself into a goal-scoring machine, redefining what was possible in football. Season after season, record after record, goal after goal, he was relentless. Hat-tricks, last-minute winners, Champions League miracles, he did it all. The name CR7 now meant something much bigger. It wasn't just his shirt number, it was a brand, a mindset, a symbol of perfection. He built his own line of clothing, fragrances, gyms, and hotels. But even then, it wasn't about fame or money. It was about legacy. He wanted the world to remember him not as someone who played football, but as someone who changed it. Every time he stepped onto the field, he carried the hunger of that 12-year-old boy who once cried in Madeira. Even when people called him arrogant, he stayed focused. He didn't want to be liked, he wanted to be legendary. And that's exactly what he became. At Real Madrid, he won 4 more Ballon d'Ors, 4 Champions League titles, and became the club's all-time leading scorer, with 450 goals in just 438 games. Unreal numbers, superhuman achievements. But behind every trophy was a story of sweat, pain, and sacrifice. He played through injuries. He trained after matches. He studied every detail. Every goal celebration, every roar, every moment was the result of a lifetime of discipline. Then, when others might have slowed down, Ronaldo reinvented himself again. At Juventus, at Manchester United once more, and then at Al Nassr, he kept breaking records, proving that greatness isn't tied to age or circumstance. CR7 had become a global identity, a standard for excellence, discipline, and belief. Even for Portugal, he carried his nation to its first-ever major trophy in 2016, the UEFA Euro. That night, when he had to leave the pitch injured, he stood on the sidelines like a commander, guiding his team to victory. Tears flowed, but so did pride. Portugal was on top of Europe, and the boy from Madeira had delivered a dream. So, how did Cristiano Ronaldo become CR7? He didn't just earn it, he built it brick by brick, through discipline, pain, and an unbreakable will. CR7 is not just a brand, it's the embodiment of a mindset that refuses to settle. It's a reminder that you can come from nothing, face every obstacle, and still rise higher than anyone imagined. Ronaldo once said, "Talent without work is nothing." And that's the truth that defines CR7. He became who he is because he outworked the world. He turned his obsession into legacy, his dream into history. Today, when kids wear the CR7 jersey, they aren't just wearing a name. They're wearing belief. They're wearing a symbol of what happens when you give everything for your dream. From a boy in Madeira to the biggest name in football, Cristiano Ronaldo became CR7 not by chance, but by choice, by sacrifice, and by an unrelenting drive to be the best version of himself. Because CR7 isn't just Cristiano Ronaldo, CR7 is every dreamer who refuses to give up. CR7 is every person who turns pain into power. CR7 is proof that legends aren't born, they're built. And that is how Cristiano Ronaldo became CR7.